Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Real Housewives of New York, season 15, episode number 2. And this one is called You Can Run, But You Can't Ride. I actually didn't get that. I didn't get it.
You didn't get it? I get it.
You got
Because
it?
of the Uber?
Yeah.
Because of the Uber thing?
Well,
that was last week.
No, it's Jenna's new ride and the helicopter. See?
Okay.
Oh, the helicopter.
And
Okay.
her new car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, her new car, yeah.
Yes.
So we start with Erin meeting up with her mom at the wig shop. And Erin got her hair cut to look like her mom because she wants to support her mom going through chemo. So she's going to wear wigs with her mom, which I thought was very nice, you know?
I didn't realize Erin was an only child, her mom's only child.
I did not either.
All of her siblings are from her father.
Yeah. I didn't know
And
that.
I did notice, I thought it was the last episode in the confessional. I thought to myself, her hair looks weird, but it's because she's wearing a wig. When
makes
she
sense.
has that long, wavy hair, that like Mormon wives Rapunzel hairdo, it was a wig.
Yes.
But I thought I had it written down in my notes, and I never got around to saying it. How like her hair looks odd.
That's why.
Yeah, that's it. And then Ubah shows up too, and she says that I didn't realize Ubah was the first one that Erin told about her mom. And then they start talking about what had happened last night while her mom is trying on some wigs. And Erin says that she's really hurt by what Brynn did, trying to ruin her friendship with Jenna, which, I don't blame her. I mean, I think we, kind of touched on this. Brynn is just being messy. She really is being messy.
She's twisting things and just trying to cause problems, I guess, trying to cause drama. Maybe she's going to become that housewife that she thinks that needs to be her job.
Well,
yeah, I hope.
We've said this before.
Okay.
Hurt people hurt people. So
yeah,
I think that this is some of Brynn's baggage showing up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too, but you have to be accountable. And Sai was in the same situation, and she, is going to therapy and is trying to do better. I don't know.
Especially when they flashed back. I agree, Lord, because especially when they flashed back to the last episode last season where she yelled out, "Ubah, I hear you have a man in Connecticut," and Sai's face was like that was so on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
So on purpose. And that was really something that Ubah didn't want to talk about yet because it was so new. And you can't blame her. Like that was harsh. I thought that was harsh.
Yeah, but
it was harsh. And, Ubah...
Sai shouldn't have told Brynn. Sai shouldn't have told Brynn either.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but the thing about that is because even Ubah, Sai felt horrible, but Ubah said that's when she stopped trusting Brynn. Because
that's right.
Sai confided in Brynn, and Brynn was supposed to be her girl because they were close, and Sai was inviting her over for the holidays. And, we were led to believe when that we first started watching that they actually knew each other before, because she was hanging out and she said that, Sai was, relationship goals for her.
Yep.
And it turns out that, she did betray her. And Ubah caught on to that right away. It wasn't even so much that she was mad at Brynn for saying it or that she was mad at Sai for telling her. She was mad at Brynn because she betrayed Sai.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And in the off season, I remember seeing a lot of pictures of Ubah, Brynn, and Jessel together. And I feel like Ubah's distanced herself since then.
Yeah. And I guess we have to wait and see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Now I do want to say when they're at the place getting the mom's wig and Erin is telling Ubah, it just felt a little manufactured to me. Like she couldn't even squeeze out a real tear. I don't know. It just felt a little fakey to me.
A lot of people online are saying the same thing.
You mean when she was telling about Abe?
Yeah, that's
when she was
when she was really upset. It just wasn't. There's something a little bit unauthentic about it and forced to me, a little bit produced. Because if you're
a lot of people online are saying the same thing.
Yeah. If your mom has cancer and you're in a bad place with your husband, it's not that hard to ilk out a tear. Like, I don't know. It was just off to me.
That's interesting because I didn't get that. I felt like it was genuine. That's how I felt.
Well, I saw on social media people saying the same thing, like she couldn't shed a tear. And I thought they were talking about, and I know we'll get there, when she's sitting on the couch with Brynn, because I thought the same thing then, because I felt Brynn was, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, but she was crying on the couch with Brynn. And then the more people talked about it, I realized it was when she was talking to Ubah at the wig shop about all that.
That's what they were referring to?
Yeah, that scene.
To me,
now I'm going to have to rewatch it.
Yes, she didn't even ilk out a tear on the couch to Brynn either.
No, I think she did. And that's why I was like, why are they saying that? But she did, because Brynn was like,
watch it again. Watch it again.
I'm going to have to rewatch both of those scenes now. So the reason it comes up is because Ubah says, how are things with you and Abe? And she's like, well, I didn't really want to talk about it. I haven't told anyone. I was very surprised to hear about what it was that, she was expecting to use that Bitcoin money that he sold for, paying off a big chunk of her mortgage. And I thought about it, and then she went on to say it wasn't just that, like there was other decisions that he had done without her knowing. I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what if your husband did that? How would you feel betrayed?
Yeah. Eric and make financial decisions together. 100%.
Absolutely.
How about you, Laura?
Not easy, and we argue, but we do,
Right. You make them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. She said she had started like a handbag business and then decided it wasn't for her. And then I think that's what he was saying, some of what he did with that Bitcoin money, some of the cleanup from that. So there's a couple different ways to look at it. Is this something that really just happened now? Is this something that happened in the past and the producers are just using it? Or is it a situation where she's always grown up with so much money that she really didn't even bother to check? Maybe she's like checked out of the financial end of it and kind of just spent her money and left it to him. And he's kind of sitting there like, I kind of felt bad for the guy. He's not in her league. He never was. He knew he was never going to be, and he was trying to keep up with Joneses, and I don't know.
I 100% agree, and I have that written down. He's basically like a Joe Judice, where he's trying to keep up this lifestyle for her that she's not, not that, I'm just saying, I think that's what Joe did, but I think just what Lori said. She was born and lived a certain lifestyle, clearly. Her father provided well for her.
Mm-hmm.
And now this guy feels pressure to do the same. He's an attorney in New York City, so he can't do too bad, but the pressure's on. To live in New York City anywhere is not cheap. And, they're trying to keep up a lifestyle now.
No, I agree. And actually he even says it when they go and they sit down and they talk about it at the restaurant. She says that, we joked about then when we got married, like we didn't even really know each other. And she's like, well, I guess we're getting to know each other now.
I wonder why. Did they ever say why they got married so quick?
They didn't say. And then she went on to say, like, I didn't even really want to get married. I was like jetting off to here, jetting off there. And she's like, I didn't even have to sleep with people. He's like, yeah, I know. Like that.
Yeah, but did you see the way he looked at her when she said that?
Well, because she shouldn't have said that on camera.
She shouldn't have said it on camera, but he kind of gave her a look like, oh, yeah, right. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then he does say, listen, this is why I feel so insecure. Like this is, I'm trying to, exactly what you said, provide for you the life that you're accustomed to. And, it's not that easy. And I get that. But she also said that he had actually sold that Bitcoin a couple years prior and she didn't realize it. So it just when she realized what had happened. So I think you're right. I think she wasn't handling the finances and all of a sudden she saw like Bitcoin was exploding. She's like, we have all that Bitcoin. Let me see where it's at. Maybe we could use that money. And then it was gone. So, I could, imagine her surprise,
Yeah.
I just thought she was super bitchy, super Karen about it. Like, I just thought that was really rude to just behave like that towards your husband in public. Like, he was on the fucking naughty list and he better get, oh, no. It's just, I
Yeah,
thought it was
I
wrong.
agree. I agree. I don't know if I would have had that conversation on camera, by the way.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Then we see Sai and Jenna. They meet up for lunch, and Sai is talking about her daughter, London, wanting to go to LaGuardia for ballet. And Jenna's talking about her son, getting ready to go off to college, and, he's getting older. Sai also goes on to say that she feels like she's in a really good place with Jenna. And, she also wanted to rehash what was discussed at the party, about what she said, how she didn't like Jenna because Brynn told her that. But then Jenna explained, listen, it wasn't just Brynn. She wasn't the only one who told me that, you didn't like me. If this is going to be one of those things that they just keep bringing up over and over and over again. Like,
let's really hope not.
I do hope that that's not what's going to happen.
Sai is basically making herself look like a victim right now. Like, you came in real hot last year. You definitely said things about Jenna you probably shouldn't have said. Now you're getting called out on it. You're not a victim.
No, she's definitely
I'm
not.
sorry you're going through that, and I'm glad you had a come to Jesus moment, and now you're all zen. But you did do what these people said you did. So you have to,
Now, she reminds me of like one of those people that like, she's like the girl who quit smoking and like right away bitches about other people who are doing it and expects everybody to put their cigarette out right away when she comes around.
Yes.
Like, she's just, okay, great. You've gone to like, a couple sessions of therapy. No.
I totally agree.
So then, but the interesting thing about this is, so Sai was upset because Brynn threw her under the bus. And again, Brynn threw Sai under the bus to Ubah as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a pattern, right? Like, that's what she's doing. So I think Sai is like, listen, I need to maybe reevaluate this because this isn't working,
Well, I think that they're all realizing that Brynn's not trustworthy. And when I say not trustworthy, she's going to twist things to make a story more salacious, to make it more funny, like to get her some attention. That's what she's going to do. But to me, that's a dangerous person. Because the truth to me, like if I lose your trust even a little bit, that's it.
Yeah,
and I agree. Think all of them are realizing that.
I agree.
Well, Brynn said it herself that she's like carbon monoxide.
Yeah,
there was a quote that she made,
and Erin brought that up, that she's texted that about the carbon monoxide, like silent and deadly, and
well, when
it's
she
not a good
feels,
look. Let's just put it that way.
No. When she feels, when she's upset or whatever, she threatens people. Like, that's how she reacts. But I think that's just from her. I think she needs a lot of therapy. I think that's just from her upbringing. She just is so craving of attention and will get it any way that she can.
Right. And, I was thinking about this. She was so upset with Erin for what Erin didn't say on Jeff Lewis. Because let's face it, she didn't say it.
She didn't.
If you don't want people questioning what you do for a living, be forthcoming about what you do for a living. Show what you do for a living on the reality show that you are on. And if you don't want people thinking that you're this over-sexual person, stop being over-sexual in every opportunity that arises for you. You flirt with everybody's husband. Honestly, she presents herself as a very overly sexual person. So it's not way off the charts. Right. That Jeff Lewis would ask that question, because that's a question Jeff Lewis would ask. And Erin never said yes, and she clearly said no.
Right. You're absolutely right.
I don't know.
Then we see Raquel. She's talking to her daughter, or Elle. Elle is 14, and Elle needs to come up with a recipe for school So they're looking in a book, but then they find out that she probably didn't write the recipe down. She made it up, and it's some Connecticut pasta. I was
Sounded
like,
good.
okay. And her son Corey's sitting there.
It does sound good.
He's 17 years old, and then we see Mel with the dogs. This whole thing with the dogs was a little crazy, right?
Tortured
Acupuncture
dog.
for your dog?
Tortured. That dog looked tortured.
Yeah.
But wait, I just want to hop back.
AF.
I want to hop back 1 second
Mm-hmm.
because I just want to give kudos
Okay.
to my girl, Jenna fucking Lyons. Because when she was with Sai and she said back to Sai, well, I was soft to you when you were talking shit about me. Because Jenna said to her, I think the only way you're going to be able to really approach Brynn is from like a place of love and not this like hardcore Sai.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, why should I do
Combative.
that?
Yes.
Jenna was like, well, basically, because I did it for you. So, but I thought that was great. It's like,
You're right. Yeah.
No, that was awesome. I agree with you. So Mel is a forensic neuropsychologist. I have no idea what that is.
Me neither.
Okay.
I don't know, but I know
Not a
that
clue.
I know
Sounds
that she needs
really
to,
important, though.
yeah, she needs to stop practicing whatever it is she does for a living on her dog.
Well, there's more than one dog there. Isn't there like 3 of them or 4
I don't
of
know.
them? There's a lot of dogs there.
My
one was a
favorite
mess.
part was when I think one of them said the dog gained weight. Raquel said the dog gained weight, and Mel said, it's just a bad angle. I thought, that's what I just said about a picture of me from the wedding. She said it's a bad angle for the dog.
And then
I love that.
That is
Then-
hysterical.
Then she was saying how the dog was, they just made the dog steak and everything. And then for them, like, oh, let's go get Chipotle.
Yeah.
I know. You're not right. Exactly.
The kids are like, what are we eating?
The dog's eating steak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then Erin goes over to Brynn's house to talk, and she has to walk up the 5 flights of stairs because the elevator's not working.
I don't
Now,
buy.
well, but it wasn't working. Remember the couch that couldn't be delivered because it was too big? It wouldn't get
Well, I don't know if you can put a couch in it. I don't know if they have like an elevator big enough for a couch.
Oh, that's
don't-
right. Well,
But I don't know.
but the elevator's been broken for a little bit.
Okay, it has been. And so she comes in and, Brynn says, I like your hair. And, Erin's like, listen, like we need to fix this. And you tried to mess up my friendship with Jenna. And Brynn was like, yeah. And like,
I thought she was a little bit of an asshole during this.
I did
Oh,
too. I
She
did
was
too.
absolutely
She barely looked up
emotionless.
when she walked in the door.
She
Yeah.
opened the door and then went and sat on the couch.
And
She
went on
opened
her
the
phone.
and
Yeah.
went on her phone. She was a complete
Yeah.
a-hole. And just so absolutely emotionless that it was quite frightening.
Right.
It was very passive aggressive, the whole interaction. To be quite, that's how I felt it like it was.
Yeah.
And, she's like, listen, I didn't do that. Jenna said to me, like, did you forgive Erin? And she said, yeah. And she's like, well, I'm surprised. Like, so then she felt bad that she forgave her so soon.
Right.
I think that's made up. I think you're just making it up.
I totally agree. I don't think Jenna would have that reaction. Because she didn't have that reaction with Sai. Like Lori said, she told Sai, like, you need to be
Right.
softer. You need to. So
Right.
why would she then turn around and tell Brynn, you shouldn't have, oh, wow, that was quick. You forgave her so fast. Forgive her for what? She didn't do anything wrong. She
Nope.
didn't say anything. She didn't say what you're saying she said.
Right. Exactly.
So why, like, I don't think Jenna said that either.
Yeah. So I guess they kind of hug it out. They whatever. They decide to forgive each other. Erin tells her that she really needs her support right now, what she's going through with her mom. I thought she was really crying, but I'm going to have to rewatch it now that Lori
I
says
thought
no.
Erin was really crying, and I actually have written down, like, Brynn didn't even go to hug her or console her or anything. She just sat there stone faced.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, even when like it was over and then they go in the kitchen and she asks her if she wants a drink and she says, yeah, if you're having some, and she's like, I want to see, I want to see sugar. I want to see the puppy. Brynn's like, no, I'm punishing you. Like the puppy's not here, and I gave you tap water.
And by the way, how about when Brynn said, "Can I take care of your husband for you?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yes,
things like that, Brynn.
yes.
Yeah, it
It's
was
things
very,
like that.
very juvenile, very like high school. Like, oh no, you can't eat.
Yeah,
How
like in
old are
that moment,
you?
like sometimes there's times for those things, but this wasn't it.
And then even when she called her Staten Island, like again, passive aggressive, like.
Yeah, and do not fuck with Staten Island.
All right.
So I don't know if you saw. Did you see Erin on Watch What Happens Live?
I didn't watch it yet. I have that one to watch, and then who was on after Salt Lake?
Mary. I didn't watch Mary
I
yet.
didn't watch
I
that
watched
either
that.
yet.
Yeah.
But one of the tweets was Andy said there was a lot of tweets for Erin from Staten Island saying and she's like, listen, there's nothing wrong with Staten Island. I just don't live in Staten Island. I didn't grow up there. But the thing is, Brynn was using it as shade. Erin really wasn't using it as shade.
I totally agree.
Right.
Brynn was the one who was putting a negative,
Connotation
tone
on
to
it. Yeah.
Staten Island, not Erin.
Exactly.
She
But
just
Erin's
said, "Don't call me Staten Island. I was born and raised in Manhattan." I get that.
yeah, no, I do too. But
I
I'm
mean,
like,
don't call me Tom's River. I was born and raised in Brick. There's nothing wrong with Tom's River. I just live in Brick and grew up here. Nothing wrong with Tom's River.
no, nothing's wrong with Tom's River. And then, the puppy, she held the puppy away. She's so stupid. Next scene we see is Beckett and Jenna and Beckett's girlfriend and Jenna's assistant, and they're all going to rock climbing, what is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Indoor
Rock
climbing.
climbing. Have either of
rock-
you ever done that?
No, I would do it though.
No,
I would try.
Yeah.
I would probably be terrified like Jenna, but I would try. There's a place right in Brick. We should go to it.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll go take pictures. I'm not breaking a nail. Sorry. I'm not breaking a nail.
I know. I still want to try it though.
All right. Like I said, I'll go. I don't know if I'm going to try it, but I'll participate.
I feel like there's a hair on my microphone and I keep seeing it.
Listen, I thought she did an amazing job, to be quite honest with you. I was surprised. I mean, she is very tall, so she's got a lot of, ability to grab high things.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was very impressed with how well she did.
Me too.
She was talking about I really like this too, that she's really encouraging her son to go away, not to be close to home. And as a mom, like that's, I can't imagine, but she
Me neither.
wants him, to find his independence and, to learn, even though she's terrified that he may never come home like she did.
Yeah,
I give her a lot of credit for that. I really do, because it's
I
hard
do because I was the opposite.
yeah, it's hard to let your kids fly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then we see her car arrives.
214K.
Yes, her 2024 Bentley Flying Spur. It's a hybrid, though. I don't know. Does she have a place to charge it at her place in New York? I hope so.
I doubt it.
Oh, the hybrid, you don't need to, actually. That's the beauty of the hybrid. You don't need it with the hybrid.
Well,
Yeah,
this
you don't.
Oh, you can
yeah.
just put gas in it and then get yourself to a charging station.
No. The gas charges it. Like you use the gas because Bill had the Prius.
Right.
And it was a hybrid. Like your first like 20 miles or whatever is electric power, and then it switches over to gas. So it as you use it, it charges itself up.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
so with that
Um,
with that Bentley, I just want to put this out there. Like,
Okay.
first of all, that car makes no sense for the city. I mean, if she's keeping it in Hamptons, that's one thing, because the garage costs alone. And not that she's probably worth like $5 million. I looked it up, and that it doesn't make sense. So I don't know whether it's her flexing after the whole money talk or if it's a production deal. But to me, there's something like snow jiving with the Bentley.
I think you're right. I think that she is flexing after the comment about money issues.
Or is it a production thing?
Or
is it
maybe
because-
Or did Bentley say to
Bentley
Bravo?
could be sponsoring her.
Yeah, Bentley could have said to Bravo, "Hey, look,
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it was just
Yep. Yeah, because a car like that does not make sense in the city.
I guess the next scene we kind of talked about was the Erin and Abe. They go out and they talk about it. The only thing we didn't really mention is that we find out that Erin is going to be hosting the girls again in the Hamptons. And we know how well that went last time.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was great.
And she also says that she's remodeling her kitchen and is not sure if it's going to be done by then.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So this seems like a recipe for disaster, if you want my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just what
Yeah.
production wants.
I think it is.
Could be. All right. So
And then we see Ubah goes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I just want to know, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but I just want to know now, has anybody here ever been in a helicopter?
No, I would never.
Wendy?
I just did very recently, just before Bill retired. I went up in
Oh, you
the
did.
helicopter. And
Good.
yes,
Did you like it?
yes, I did. I did like it. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
It wasn't as fancy as that helicopter that they were in.
No, but yeah. Okay, good. All right, go ahead, Wendy. I'm sorry.
Have
No,
you
I
been
would-
in one?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been? You have? Where
Yeah.
did you go?
I was in one in nice one like that in Maui in Hawaii, and then I was just in one South Carolina, and I was one somewhere else too. But I like it.
Nice.
No, I'm scared. I haven't been on a plane since I was pregnant with Joe.
Really? Because you're afraid?
I do not like to fly. I'm very afraid. Like need a half of a Valium to fly. Or I guess a Xanax now. But I did split a half of Valium on the way home from California when I was in my early 20s with my mom. That was a long flight. Only a half. But no, I do not like to fly. We drive.
No, I don't mind flying. I like the convenience of it. I don't. The driving thing, I'm over it. We drove for so many years back and forth to Florida that I'm done.
Yeah.
So we see Ubah shopping for the Hamptons and Sai meets up with her and they're trying on clothes. And then the topic of the hard nipple bra comes up. I want to know your thoughts on that. So I guess Skims makes a bra that's got a hard nipple.
Stop it.
Would you wear one?
I don't need to wear one. Let me just put that there. If I want hard nipples, like they're on command. But it's not my look, but I don't, it's kind of like smoking weed. It's not my gig, but have at it. There's nothing wrong with it. You do you. I'd rather have a glass of wine. Just my gig. I'd rather have flat nipples.
Yeah.
But
Flat
if
nipples
you
and
want
wine.
hard ones, go right ahead.
I think it's a bunch of
You
foolishness.
smoke your weed with your hard nipples. I'm going to be over here with my flat nipples and my wine.
Listen, Ubah's like, no, I don't want a hard nipple bra. And then Sai's like, well, I think it's sexy. I no. I mean, if you're in your 20s, but again, why? I don't know.
Because it makes you look like you're excited. So guys like that.
Okay.
Guys like it when you look excited.
And then
Because they think it has something to do with them.
yeah. Oh, it's always about them, right?
Exactly.
Then was talking about Oliver, and he turned down a job for her.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. And I guess I remember vaguely last season something happened with like a flood or something. I guess she's still dealing with that.
Yeah.
Because she was talking about the water damage.
Oh, Ubah.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a long time now.
Yeah. She must be on like the street level, right? If she's, well, I guess not necessarily.
No. You can have somebody above you.
Yeah, I guess
Floods
not
into you,
necessarily because a flood can come from anywhere.
Yeah. But we kind of talked about this too last week. We've never seen where Ubah lives. Like we've never seen her place.
No.
So maybe we'll get to see Oliver's place in Connecticut. Oh, that'd
Yeah.
have to be a road trip. So then they show up at the helicopter place, and Brynn, being Brynn, has to change the sign because she's the first one to arrive. That it says, "Let's blade skank." Why?
The girl's face
Just
that
why?
works there. The girl's face that works there was great. She was like,
Okay. So it's Brynn taking the helicopter, Rebecca, and Jessel. And they're waiting for Jenna to show up. And then they FaceTime Jenna, and she's driving. And they're like, oh. She's like, oh, I didn't think I had to call you. But
Now, don't get me wrong. When you take a helicopter, isn't everything like all about weight distribution?
yes, but a helicopter that size
can handle.
they wouldn't be, yeah. I
Okay.
think
yeah.
that was probably like a 10-person helicopter, and maybe there was going to be 5 on it. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
So they had plenty of weight to spare.
Yes.
yes,
Got it.
yes.
it.
And then she said, well, Raquel's driving too, and nobody knew that either. So if they didn't talk to Jenna, they would have been, which is a little
Yeah, that's
crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
That was ridiculous. And listen, I would have been the first one to be like, I'm driving. I'm scared of helicopters because they
Right.
Sai said, if it's cloudy, I'm not going up.
right.
Yeah. And it was
And
cloud.
she'd already said that she was going to drive with Ubah because she
Right.
didn't want Ubah driving by herself.
Right. Right.
And when Jessel shows up with her outfit, I did think her outfit was fabulous. The navy blue and the long cape kind of thing. And she
It was. And most importantly, other than her shoes, it looked comfortable.
Yes, it did look
Yeah.
comfortable. It did.
Not her
But then-
shoes, but you're sitting,
Not
so
her
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. But then she goes out and the blades from the helicopter and all the wind, and it's just funny.
Tripping.
Yes, it's funny. It's just funny. And then they're sitting on the helicopter, and Brynn says to Rebecca, if people ask us about the Scientology stuff, what do you want us to say?
I think she asked that because it had just come out. I remember when it came out, it had just come out online and they were filming.
Yeah. And she says no comment. And Rebecca said, you should read the text message I just got from the Daily Mail saying that they're going to run a story. What do you want to say about it? And Brynn says, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm sorry that you're getting this. I'm sorry that, this has become news. Right. But then she says, I don't think that saying no comment really works for me because I'm a publicist. Like, you got to say something else.
Who said they're a publicist?
Brynn.
Oh, so is that her job?
Well, last season, she did say she was kind of like a brand ambassador.
Yeah,
Which
that I
is-
remember, so is Lindsay from Summer House now, so.
Right. No, but I think she does kind of rep certain, we don't know exactly, but she did say that she was a publicist. And Rebecca says, well, then tell them that they can read about Scientology.
Actually very surprised at Bravo for making this a thing. I know Scientology is very controversial.
How is my phone ringing? I have it on Do Not Disturb.
I don't know,
don't
but
know.
the timing's
Who's
weird.
calling
We
you?
get it.
Who's calling you, Wendy? I think it's hysterical.
My son.
Mm-hmm.
It says Do Not Disturb on.
Maybe because you can hit like retry call even though Do Not Disturb is on. You can do that.
You can?
Yeah. Like if I
Look
send a
at
text,
those
Joe always
learn.
has his off and Lorianne always has hers off. So, I mean, it'll say like,
Interesting. So that
I'm
he
pretty sure.
All right. Well, I just put it on silent now, and I did not answer it. Do not interrupt my podcast.
That's
That's
right.
right. Talking about very important
But I'm
things.
kind of surprised that they're making this an issue. And I know Scientology is controversial, and I know the whole Danny Masterson, but I mean, listen, I'm Catholic. Like, there's controversial things in the Catholic religion as well. So why is her being a Scientologist a thing? We don't really hear about religion a lot on Housewives. Certain ones, but
Is Bravo making it a thing, or is the public making it a thing?
I'm surprised that Bravo is even entertaining it, like them having this conversation. I mean,
Well, I guess if it's out
Right.
there,
you know,
gotta say
production was like,
something.
you have to ask Raquel how she wants you to respond, blah blah blah, or Rebecca. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think this is my thought about this, and I don't know. It might have even been Margaret's. One of the housewives said this, and I agree with this. So if there's an issue that's going on and you don't want to really give it any light, just let it play itself out. Don't say
Right.
anything about it because it
Right.
will eventually go away. But as soon as you talk about it, it is not going away. As soon as you give it attention and put light on it, it is not going to go away.
Right.
So even if it was out in the press, by the time this was going to air, it would have gone away.
That's what I mean.
You know?
Oh,
So
okay,
why
yeah.
are they having that conversation.
I agree with you. I think Bravo screwed up with this one. I don't think that they should have. I really don't.
No, because it shone a bad light on it.
Yeah, I agree.
And what Jenna said is very accurate. Every religion has extremists and cover-ups. And she's not wrong.
No, she's not. And even the question that they asked them all in the confessional, like, why are you doing that?
Right.
You know, that's why she answered that, because they asked her, you know, do you want to become a Scientologist? No, I have my own religion.
Right.
They are making a thing of it.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, that was basically it. Like I said, I did watch a little bit of, I did actually watch all of Watch What Happened Live. Erin was on, and Andy did start with giving condolences for the passing of her dad. It was 2 weeks, just 2 weeks ago. And her mom was there in the audience, and a bunch of breast cancer survivors were there, and they were, yeah. And
That's so nice.
Erin was wearing a beautiful pink suit, and Andy had pink on to support it. And she was there with Jake Shears, who had this fabulous sequins outfit, and he had a pink ribbon on. I'd never heard of him before, but he sounds very accomplished.
I never heard of him. Who is he?
I heard me.
He's like, I didn't write it down, but he's like done work with Elton John. He's got something on Broadway. It's a musical about Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like he's done quite a bit of stuff. So I'm going to have to look him up, because I feel like I should have known who he was, and I never heard of him.
Yeah.
So I thought
Hey,
it was awesome
okay.
how Jessel at the end said, "My cooch is numb. I need to pee and puke." Do you hear her say that? She said, "My
I
cooch
didn't
is
even hear
numb.
that. I think that's
Yeah.
great too.
My cooch is numb. I need to pee
I
and
didn't-
puke." She's so high maintenance.
I didn't hear her say the cooch is numb, but I did
Okay.
hear her say how much longer I need to pee and puke.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wonder how long that ride was from New York City to the Hamptons. Had to
don't
be,
think
what,
it's
a half
long.
hour maybe?
Well,
If-
I think
yeah.
they said it's another 30 minutes. So, I mean, maybe
so
that's
maybe-
all it was 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe like 40 minutes.
Maybe
And-
40, 45, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that
and-
does beat sitting in traffic for 4 hours if it's
Yeah.
if
Oh,
it's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the season, but
And what about
Yeah.
Ubah's hairdo in that one confessional? Where's she going with that Susie Orman wig? It was bad. It was so bad.
yes, I was not a
So
fan.
bad. So bad. Did not
I
like
didn't
that.
really love Sai's hair
she-
either at
No, like a mop.
at the store with Ubah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like Sai's hair either in the store.
And Ubah is stunningly beautiful. So I don't
Yes.
know where she was going with that wig, but it was like given like hello Dolly. It was just not.
Yes,
Not
it
good.
was.
I don't have anything else for New York. Do you guys?
I don't, but did you see that Lydia from the OC, her mom passed away?
Oh, no, I did not see that. Oh, that's
I
sad.
thought that was so sad. They're so close. It's so weird. I just recently listened to a podcast, Behind the Velvet Rope of them two. And it was, it was from a couple of years ago. And I want to say it was from right after Lydia rejoined the show. Remember, she came back for one
Yes.
season and she didn't hit it off with Shannon right away. And it was then. But I felt so bad when I read that because her mom's, I don't know what happened. I don't know how she passed, but they were just very close. They were like best friends.
Oh, that's
They lived
sad.
across the street from each other.
It ain't easy, girls.
No.
Ain't easy.
I know, you know. Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
thank
so-
you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Good night.
Good night.
No.